I've got a pretty interesting interview here, and this is around Strike Finance. The team had hit the ground running here in the Cardano ecosystem, and I'm pretty excited to have Shan here from the team to talk through the project, find out exactly what it has to offer and how it can benefit you guys in the Cardano space. So Shan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you. Super happy to be here.
Yeah, I've been watching you guys as well. It's you guys seem to be getting quite a bit of attention here in the space, and I did have a look over the testnet and all that, and it does look pretty nice. Now, my trading skills aren't that good, so I'm going to pick your brains in regards to how I can actually use this platform so I can get a better understanding of it. But let's start from the very beginning here. I'd like to understand your background, how you got into the Cardano space to build a platform like Strike Finance.
Yeah. So I've been in the Cardano space for the past 2 years. I got my start working as a developer for a company named Snaprelia. We were funded through Catalyst for multiple projects, and I was a developer and lead developer for some of the projects. I'll briefly go through some of the projects that we've delivered. The first one is contract voting and funding, where I mainly focus on the backend of the option construction and some front end stuff. And then we also created a bounty system where anyone can post gigs, jobs, and other people from anywhere in the world can pick them up. I worked on the payment system there where we supported Cardano, Solana, Bitcoin, and Ethereum payments. Last but not least, we also created a DAO voting tool. It was a Discord voting bot where people can vote on proposals using their wallet within Discord, their wallet and their tokens. After that, I was a contractor for Cherryland, where I built out their V2 contract. Cherryland is a lending protocol on Cardano, and I built out their V2 lending contract where it's an order book like lending model instead of just regular P2P. An order book like lending model allows for more um for the borrowers. It allows for more choices, and in, in a low liquidity environment on Cardano, it'll allow anyone. It'll allow the borrowers to select from a wide range of loans.
Now, what language are you writing everything in here? I saw a tweet the other day that Strike Finance was written in Aiken. Is all this experience in Aiken, and what's your exposure to smart contracts on Cardano?
Yeah. It's all now on Aiken. Back in the days, it was Pulis, and to be honest, those that was kind of like rocket science for me, at least.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then super glad Aiken came out. And I also want to give a quick shout out to Helios. They're also a language on Cardano. I've actually used them before um, Aiken, but yeah, now all contracts on Strike is built on Aiken.
Okay, cool. I think a lot of the community is moving over there, but I still do know a lot of projects that use Helios as well. So it's pretty good to know that you guys moved that way. Okay, so what exactly does Strike Finance have to offer the world? What is it all about?
Yeah, Strike Finance, we're a derivatives protocol. We offer three different products: options trading, forward trading, and perpetual trading. Derivatives, they're a different kind of way for people to make money. Right now, most people, to make money on Cardano, they're simply just swapping tokens, holding them, or putting them into a lending pool. Diverse protocols, they they allow people to trade these contracts where they can potentially earn a lot more money simply other than just simply holding tokens or putting monies in a lending pool. But of course, it comes with greater risk.
I come from a world where I do just swap tokens, and I do
Mhm.
just provide liquidity on there. So, what does this actually look like when someone's doing a trade in? Did you call it a derivative?
Yeah. So the three different products that we offer, they're all derivatives and they're all quite different from each other. So I guess I'll just go over what each of those are. So for options protocol, I'm sorry, for options trading, options allows you to buy or sell an asset at a specific price within a date. So let's say I can pick up an options contract that allows me to buy ADA at 50 cent within a 1 month period. In 2 weeks time, ADA rises to 60 cent. Just just means with this options contract, I'll be able to buy ADA at 50 cent, 10 cent below the current market value. So for each ADA in that contract, I'll earn a 10-cent profit. Forwards contracts, it's really similar to options contract. The main difference is the exchange of assets must happen in a forwards contract. In the options contract, you have the right but not the obligation to exercise your contract. So let's say ADA doesn't actually goes above 50 cent. ADA is actually at 30 cent. With options contract, you don't have to actually exercise the contract because it'll be unprofitable for you to do so. But with a forwards contract, the exchange of assets must happen.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
yeah,
So I just want to clarify something. So options one, I'm not forced to execute the contract. I can choose whether or
yeah.
not to buy it for 50 cents if it went up to 60. But if it went down to 40, I can forfeit that contract. So what's my penalty there? Is there a penalty?
The main penalty is the premium that you pay to hold that options contract.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. And obviously that'd be hopefully less than the potential profit I could make if it went up. So it's does it vary
Yeah.
or is it set by the protocol?
Yes. It is set by the protocol. We're using a traditional options pricing model. It's called Black Scholes options model pricing. And
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, typically when people exercise these contracts, they also have to take into account the premium they paid because it might be profitable for you to exercise this contract, but it doesn't actually cancel out the premium that you paid
Yeah.
initially.
Yeah, gotcha. What about the force one? It sounds because you're taking on more risk there, and you have to execute the contract that premium be it should be less, right?
Yeah. So for forest contract, there's actually no premium because the
Gotcha.
exchange
Okay,
of assets must happen. There's no premium, but you do have to put in a collateral. So we know that you'll actually exchange the assets, and if you don't exchange the assets, your collateral will be liquidated.
gotcha,
But
gotcha.
if you
Okay,
do, you get your collateral back.
understood. And that collateral would potentially be more than the trade, or is that right?
Uh, yes. We set it up so that way the collateral would be more than if you didn't exercise it. It wouldn't be necessarily, um, more than a trade, but it'll be so that way it'll be super costly for you for not
Okay,
exercising it. Yeah.
gotcha, gotcha. Okay, I'm understanding this a little bit better now, so it's starting to make more sense. And what's the final one then?
Perpetuals. So with perpetuals, you just you take two positions, a long or a short position. You take a long or short position on an asset. When you take a long position, it means that you think the asset price will go up. If you think the asset price will go down, you'll take a short position. And just like this, the name suggests, you will hold this position. You can hold this position in perpetual in forever, and you'll earn continuous gains if your position aligns with the way the current market is moving. So if you take a long position and the underlying asset that you took a long position on, it keeps on rising, let's say for 2 days, 5 days, 10 days, you keep on earning rewards. And it's often paired with leverage where you'll be able to control a large position compared to the initial capital that you put up.
Okay, so um, I'm imagining the scenario for ADA, for example. So ADA is pretty low at the moment. Can it go lower? Maybe not. So if I take a long position on ADA and expect it to go up to like, $3, but that might be in a year or 2 years time, is this the type of thing I can take advantage of to leverage my gains on a very long period of time?
Yes, exactly. You can have it for 3 years, 5 years, forever. And if you really bullish on an asset, that's what typically people does. They just hold that contract forever.
Okay.
Technically, just keep on holding it, not forever, but
Yeah, yeah. So I'm trying to understand where the value of that contract comes from. Like, it goes if you keep on holding it forever, forever. Where's the value come from? How do you make your gains off of it? Because like,
yeah. So the gains are paid from you from the losing side. So let's say you take a long position, and the asset does go up, but there's people on the other side of the trade where they thought the asset will go down in price, and they were in the wrong side of the trade. They'll have to pay the winning side. So that's
understood,
where the value came from. Yeah.
understood. But these are also not time limited. They're perpetual. They're like, how does the other side lose to give profits to the winning side if there's never an end to the contract?
Yeah, so we had this there in perpetuals. There's this thing called funding rate. The funding rate is, the each protocol is different. They It's based on the time interval where the losing side pays the winning side. So for us on strike, it's set for 4 hours. So every 4 hours we take into account the price of the asset before and after just 4 hour, and we determined what how much the winning side pays the losing side, and we'll in our uh, in on our side we'll actually just transfer the gains from the losing side to the winning side.
Ah, I see. Okay, so it's all automated. So I might put in 1,000 ADA on a long position. Someone else put in 1,000 ADA on a short, and the value that's locked in will just fluctuate between the different users that have a long and short position over time. So
Yeah, and then for us the payout is every 4 hours. So that's what we have for now. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, cool, awesome. All right, I'm learning a lot here. This is great. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are learning about options and forced contracts and perpetuals here. So this is really cool. So I can see how users can benefit from this. There's going to be a lot of education needed because a lot of people in the Cardano ecosystem, they're still at the staking phase. I stake my ADA to a stake pool. I'm good. I'm golden. Got APR there.
Oh yeah.
What's your onboarding process to get users to use this type of platform and be excited about these type of trading options that they have now?
Yeah. Like you said, a lot of people in the space, they're not super familiar with these products, and it doesn't come intuitively for most people. So education content, it's something that we're super focused on. We're gonna release a bunch of videos as well as just technical papers where it actually tells you what each of these products can do in more in depth, and what are some of the use cases, some scenarios that you might actually use these.
Okay, really cool. That's good to know. Hopefully, it does bring in more users to your platform and also onto Cardano as well. So that's really exciting. Now, I know there's other perpetual platforms in other ecosystems. I can't remember the names at the moment, but I was looking over in Polygon. I saw perpetual platforms there. What's your competition like? I know it's very small on the Cardano side at the moment. We have Option Flow as another competitor here, but how does it look more broadly across all of DeFi?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think our competition is in the DeFi space. Um, Traditional exchanges, they account for, on the perpetual side, they account for more than 99% of perpetual trading, and
Wow. Okay.
that's pretty nuts. uh there's definitely successful diverse protocols on other blockchains, but I don't think our competition is with them. Our competition is with the traditional exchanges.
Well, I had no idea that this was available on traditional exchanges. Goes to
Oh
show
yeah.
how my limited knowledge of trading in general.
Oh yeah, perpetuals, and it's billions of dollars in volume each day, and derivatives as a whole, traditional finance account for more than 95%, but perpetuals, they account for more than 99%, and it's nuts. So
So your testnet's been going on for a little while now. There's a lot of
yeah.
people on there, been giving you guys feedback and everything. How has the testnet going overall, and how has the platform improved since you gotten feedback from users?
Yeah, well, with testnets, to be honest, there was bugs, of course, and but we had a lot of people active in our Discord channel telling us what the bugs were, things like that, and yeah, I'm super grateful that people tried it out and actually took the time to not only try it out, but also told us what was wrong with it, and yeah, we fixed a bunch of bugs, and we released the testnet like a month ago. Um, One of the biggest changes that we made was changing our options protocol. The initial version of our options protocol was P2P, and after releasing that, we getting a lot of feedback from the community where they told us where the P2P model might not necessarily be the best way forward for an options protocol on Cardano, due to the lack of liquidity. And so we've since built out a V2 version of our options protocol where anyone will be able to provide liquidity to the options trading, and they'll earn a percentage of the fees generated
Huh.
with just pooled options liquidity, and people will be able to buy and sell options contract instantaneously, and we think, yeah, we think that this is a really good user experience than our initial V1.
Is that V2 been rolled out yet, or is it yet to be rolled?
Yeah, it's now live on our testnet as well.
Okay, brilliant. I will have to try that one out. I wish I saw the first version now, so I could have done a comparison. What about wallet integrations, and will it support all of the major wallets out there in the Cardano space?
Oh yeah, we support all the major wallets. Well, Vesper, Nami, although they're having some hiccups recently, but
Yeah,
Nami, it's eternal. But one thing we haven't done quite yet is adding NuFi and MetaMask support. Um, we'll add those in soon.
yeah, making sure that you have that MetaMask Snap available, so that users from other ecosystems could just connect their MetaMask and just go directly in. I think that's pretty important as well, especially if you start marketing more broadly across the crypto space rather than just on the Cardano side of things. So I think that's quite important. All right, so it's good to know that you've got all the mobile wallets integrated, or a lot of support there at least. And it sounds like it's going to have a good mobile experience if Vespa's involved as well. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mobile is very important. Okay, what about stress testing the platform and ensuring that it can handle a lot of users? I know we've got a lot of attention at the moment on other platforms. I won't mention their names, but they bring in a lot of attention to the chain, and we've got to make sure this user experience is top notch for people that are coming in. Have you done any of that kind of stress testing and load testing on the platform?
Um, to be honest, that's not what we're kind of super focused on at this moment.
Yeah,
um we want to worry about the product first before scalability, but and especially right now since we're on testnet, we don't want to spend too much time scaling a product that nobody wants,
yeah.
and so we want to make sure the product's a-okay, people like it, and then we'll worry about the scalability later on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it would be good to make sure that it's on your checklist so
Oh
that
yeah.
on launch, everything is good there in that
Oh yeah.
respect. What about auditing? Auditing these smart contracts, you've got three main products here. Are all the products going to be audited by a third party reputable company within the Cardano space?
Oh yeah, all three of these contracts will be audited before we go on mainnet. Right now, we one of the contracts, our forest contract, is under audit by TX Pipe. We expect all three of these contracts to be audited by TX Pipe. TX Pipe, they're the firm behind Icon. They're the people that created Icon.
Yeah, if you want anyone to do your audit, is the people that wrote the code for
Oh yeah.
the smart contracts, the DSL. So that's probably a really good idea there. Okay, it's good to know that there'll be a full audit there. I'm assuming that audit off the platform as well, not just the smart contracts. Smart contracts are just a small portion. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Are you guys going open source? Will this code be available after the platform's launch or anything like that? Do you have any plans for that?
Oh yeah. Open source. You got to open source. If you're not open sourcing, why are you even building on blockchain? Well, right now, all three of our products are open source.
Oh,
I do
great.
have to note though, some of these they are about a bit behind the actual code. We haven't released
Yep.
everything just yet. We want to make sure uh, we want to make sure it's at least up to par to some kind of standards before we actually open source them. But the initial versions of all three contracts, they are open source up on our GitHub right now.
Okay. All right. That's good to know as well. Okay. So there are a couple of versions behind of what you actually have available. But I'm assuming you'd start after full platform launch, you start committing online and making sure that's all available as well.
Um, yeah, we probably will do it before we do our mainline launch. It's just we don't want to push on uh unfinished code just yet. The forest contracts they're pretty much completed. Um, the options and perpetuals, we want to do some final testing before we release it to GitHub, and the way that TX Pipe will be auditing our contract will be through our GitHub. So we'll push those up before we launch the
Yeah.
mainnet, and we'll as the audit goes on, and TX Pipe suggests changes. We'll be making those changes directly to our GitHub, so people will
Yeah.
see
Okay.
the progress we're
Good.
making
Yep. Yep.
during
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. The transparency behind the changes and all that. Okay, that's really good to hear too, as well. Now, you guys recently had a token sale. You had it on Axo. From what I watched, no offense to you guys, I just don't participate in token sales anymore. I've
Oh
been
yeah, yeah.
burned way too many times now, so left a majorly sour taste in my mouth. So I don't participate in the token sales. But congratulations. You guys did phenomenally well, especially in this market at the moment. Can we have a roundup of how the sale went?
Yeah. First of all, I'm super grateful for the people that supported us on the pre-sale. Um, this does not come lightly. This is people putting their trust on us, and yeah, thank you to everyone that supported us in the pre-sale. I'm super grateful. Yeah, the pre-sale we did the pre-sale on Axel. It filled up pretty quickly initially. Axel has this uh, functionality where people can participate in it, put their orders down before the sale actually went on, and so a lot of people did that. And then within 1 hour of the sale actually beginning, I think we reached like close to 50% um, of our goal. And then yeah, it went on for 2 days. We sold out like 1 hour before it ended.
Wow, what a wild ride. That's
Oh,
absolutely awesome for you guys. Now, there were some questions that did come out of this. The incorporation of your company, legalities. I heard that the token was open for sale for everyone globally. Is that correct?
yeah, yeah. So we launched that Axel, and I don't think they have a location restriction. So yes, I think it was open up for everyone.
Yep. So what are the legalities behind that? Because I know a lot of people from the US, for example, when participating in these token sales, there's always like illegalities behind it. They're saying like, the US can't participate in this token sale, et cetera, because SEC may deem it as a security or something like that. So a lot of people do try to avoid that. So what legal aspects have you gone through for this particular token sale?
Yeah, man. This is something that a lot of people building US can attest to. The legislation on crypto in the US gotta get better. Like for this, for example, it'll cost me $200 and 30 minutes to set up a company in New York City, to the city I live, to incorporate a company. If I use a tool from YC, where it'll probably cost me $100 and 10 minutes. Before this, I had to find a lawyer in Dubai, and it cost me nearly 5 figures to get everything set up, just so I can be sure the SEC is not gonna come knocking down my door and take me. Um, so yeah, we want to make sure we do everything on the legality side, right? It's really important. You don't want to you don't want to end up you don't want to end up in jail just for
Yeah.
building a product. And so yeah, we're all set up on that side. My lawyer assured me the SEC won't come after me because we're because we're
Yeah.
incorporated in Dubai.
Gotcha. Okay. So incorporated in Dubai, and token sale was global. And because you guys were incorporated in Dubai, it allowed, well, AXO didn't have geo blocking, so anyone in the world could participate. Okay. So that's the answer behind that. I'm not a legal expert myself. I don't know what's right or wrong around that. So I would leave that open for other legal experts to get a better understanding and provide feedback on. I'm sure people in the comments are just going to go crazy with these type of things.
Yeah, I want to just bring up like these are really valid concerns from the community members. Um, a lot of projects they're not even incorporated, and they do a bunch of things that might get them in trouble. And if they do, the founders end up getting arrested. The whole project is gone. There's nobody behind it anymore. And so yeah, I just want to reassure the people that's watching this and our community members, we're set up on the legal side.
Do you have any legal documentation or like a business and corporation certificate or anything that you could put online that would make people more comfortable as well?
Oh yeah, how yeah, and we're actually talking to a few doxing partners that we actually verify all these things and verify that the company is actually incorporated in my real name, my real identity.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Doxing partners. Never heard of them.
Dude,
That's
no,
something
I
new to
never heard
me.
of them too, but somebody mentioned them in a group chat. I was like, hey, what? I think we need those.
So what is that exactly? Oh, sorry, we're segueing a little bit here. So is it like a separate company that will audit a doxing or something?
Yeah, it's they're legit just a third party company where we sold them our financial like we sold them our documents, and they put out, okay, they showed us our documents, it's real, it's actually incorporated in Dubai, it's actually incorporated under this guy's name. So yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's a first. That's kind of useful, but it's the first time I ever heard of one of those companies. All right,
Oh yeah.
I'll look into that one as well. Add it to the list of things I've got to learn about. Now, with the token distribution, the funds from the sale and all that, I don't know myself. Someone told me that the funds, the tokens, are all being held by a single wallet at the moment. And I'd also like to know about the token distribution of the sale. Were there like a big whales that came in and bought up a lot of the tokens, or was it quite a wide distribution of buyers within this particular sale?
Yeah, I'll start with the first question. Though all the tokens be held in one wallet, that was during the sale. After the sale, immediately after the sale concluded, we uh I guess I'll go over the token distribution first. The
Yeah. Okay.
60% of the token was for the public sale, 12% was for liquidity, 13% was for DAO, and the rest 15% is for the team. So immediately after the token sale, we locked up 15% of the token into a vesting contract. The vesting contract was created by Anastasia Labs, and
Yep.
you'll be able to find the transaction and the script that we use um, up on our GitHub. And then the rest, the 13% held in the DAO, it has not been moved since the token sale. And if you go to tap tools, you can see we actually create a ADA handle for those two wallets, so the
Yep.
people can actually see the vesting contract. The contract is actually locked up in the vesting contract, and the DAO tokens they haven't moved.
Okay.
And if they were to move, people can see where it's going.
You say they haven't moved. I'm assuming that means the team has access to move that wallet freely whenever they want,
Yeah,
or
yeah. Right
based
now,
on governance actions. But yes.
yeah, absolutely. We control the keys, and uh, I see where communities have the concerns of, well, you can move it freely. So we're talking with a few people and a few prominent members in the community where we'll actually have this set up as a multi-sig. But for and the people will be there will be people controlling the multi-sig that's outside of Strike. So yeah, we'll have those set up as well. But right now, for transparency, it's not set up yet. But you can monitor the wallets to make sure that we're not just dumping it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. At least you have those ADA handles there. Eagle-eyed token holders and community members will be keeping an eye on all those things. I know they all do, and there's so many tracking tools these days. Cerebus and all that. It's very
Yeah,
easy to see where things are going anyway. So it's hard to hide these things. The public blockchain privacy, blah blah blah. It's not. It's all on chain. We can follow
yeah.
where all the money goes. All right, my last question about the DAO and all that. The amount of holders, from what I've been told, there's a large amount being held by a smaller group of people. Does that mean those people could potentially have more say in the DAO in regards to what tokens are accepted in the future on the platform, etc.? Is it open up for manipulation, maybe even because of those particular token holders?
Um, for those large token holders, they hold a large percentage of our supply, and that means they're tied economically um, to us. And I think it's in their best interest to make the best to vote on the best decision that they think will help Strike.
Yeah,
And there's multiple different kinds of voting methods that we can potentially employ on these decisions, such as contract voting and funding,
yeah, yeah,
where the amount of tokens you hold in your wallet, it plays a part on how much voting power you have. But the amount of people that vote uh, has a greater say than just the amount of wallet that you have in your I'm sorry, than just the amount of assets you have in your wallet. And so yeah, it's definitely most definitely it can be opened up for manipulation, but I think it's in the best interest of those token holders to vote on the best decision for Strike. And there's multiple different kinds of voting methods that we can employ
yeah.
and
And
kind of combat this.
you said earlier that you did write a smart contract for quadratic voting, didn't you? So
Yeah,
that kind of helps.
that kind of helps. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Okay, I've learned a lot about Strike, about derivatives trading, and so much in this interview. Is there anything else that the audience needs to know before we sign off on this one?
Um, yeah, I kind of just want to quote Benjamin Franklin here. Your critics are your friends, for they show us your faults. These a lot of people have criticisms on Strike, but not necessarily criticisms, but questions. And we feel like we've been pretty transparent. We've been posting and answering these questions, but not everyone's always on Twitter, and they're not always keeping up with these things. So anyone that's watching this, if you have any more questions, please drop out our Discord channel. We'll be more than happy to answer your questions.
All right, brilliant. I'll put the links, references, everything that we talked about in the show notes down below so people can follow up on our conversation here. If you do have a question, please leave a comment down below as well. And I'll get Shan here to come on in and answer them for you as well. So there's like a history and a log from this interview answering those questions too. So please, I encourage that you do. But Shan, thank you so much for joining me on this episode and talking through everything Strike Finance. Like I said, I learned a lot from this interview.
Thanks for having me, Pete. It's been awesome.
Just a quick disclaimer for you guys. I didn't get paid for this particular interview. I don't hold any Strike tokens and I didn't participate in the sale. Please make sure you do your own research when getting into any of these type of projects. Shan did, however, buy 5 Wapu NFTs to help support the Learn Cardano platform in general. Now, if you are wanting to learn more about derivatives trading, I will be doing some more videos about it. I find this quite fascinating, how you can do this type of extended trading as opposed to just spot trading, which a lot of people are used to. So make sure you subscribe to the video tutorial channel as well. Links down below for you guys. I'll see you in the next video.